Welcome to Life and Smile, the podcast. I'm Dr. Reena, a global dental expert, founder, CEO, and author. And for our 7th season, we're here to join you on screen straight from our recording studio at 75 Harley Street. Join me in each episode where we talk about everything dental, lifestyle, business, and much more. Join in conversation with an industry insider in their chosen field who give us a behind-the-scenes glimpse into their daily regime, career turning points, and an exclusive look at to what they can't live without. As a businesswoman myself, it's been so inspiring to hear how people have built their careers and shattered those glass ceilings. So let's get the conversation going. Have you seen our latest By Dr. Reena edit? You can find out more information on www.bydrreena.com. I'm so excited to be back in our Life and Smile studio where I'm joined by the incredible Mira Manek. Mira is an author, wellness entrepreneur, and founder of the beautiful Chai By Mira brand, a space that blends her passion for food, Ayurveda, and mindfulness. She's the author of 3 books, Saffron Soul, Prajña, and the Book of Chai. All of them have inspired thousands of people to bring more balance and joy into their everyday lives. I've admired Mira's approach for well-being for a long, long time, been following you, super inspiring. I think your calm presence is very energizing. It definitely uplifts anyone who meets you. So it's a real pleasure for you to come onto our podcast. And I'm looking forward to delving into your journey, your rituals, and your philosophy. So welcome to Life and Smile, Mira.
Thank you, Reena. Thanks so much. I love how you said your calm presence is very energizing. It's such a great way to put it.
So let's start from the beginning. So tell us sort of your journey from the beginning. How did it all start up? How did you get into wellness? How did you get into Ayurveda?
How did I get into wellness and Ayurveda? Well, I think it all is a journey when you lose something and you feel like you've lost your way in health and wellness is what inspires you to get back into it. And and when I was in my late teens, early 20s, and throughout my 20s, I was on this roller coaster of yo-yo dieting. And for a very long time, I thought being healthy equaled being skinny. And so losing weight was the sort of epitome of being healthy, which is crazy now that I actually think about it. And I didn't think of nutrition. I didn't think of what my mum would always tell me, have more fiber in your diet or have this or have that, but you're not getting enough vitamins. That would just all be like noise to me. It was all going in somewhere because obviously it's coming out now, but it was all noise at the time. And I just thought, no, these magazines are telling me eat little but often. Eat low fat. And these are all your low-fat snacks. Do Weight Watchers. And all of that, doing all these different things, trying to get skinnier, made me really feel low on energy, not realizing that I was getting sugar crashes because I have a bit of a sweet tooth. And so when I have too many sweet snacks, because I'm sort of counting calories as such, I can have anything I like. I'm not thinking about nutrition. I'm going on sugar highs and then suddenly crashing and not realizing that actually this fluctuation of weight isn't always to do with calories in, calories out. It's also to do with my own mental behavior or traveling or digestion issues. So all of that together with the fact that I've always had digestion issues brought me back to my own home cooked food at some point. And so it was almost like the penny dropped. I was in India one day, just about to turn 30. And suddenly I was like, wait, I need to go back to my own home-cooked food. I'm coming to India with snacks in my bag. Like, why would I do that? Indian food is healthy and nutritious. Other people, if I don't think that, if I've lost my sort of roots in a way and thought, no, I can't have too much oil. There's too much oil in my dal and in my curry. And I'm looking at this glistening curry and thinking it's got, all of those things. I can't have ghee because it's too high fat. It's not like I suddenly understood that all these things were good for me. It's just I suddenly realized that I was doing the wrong thing and that actually to ground myself again, to realize what was nutritious and healthy and to go back to full health, as it were, I needed to go to my own roots. And so that's around the time I moved back to London, not because of this, but I was moving back to London anyway. And I started learning from my grandmother, my mother, and my aunts how to cook the food I'd grown up eating and that they'd continued to make. I was living abroad for a number of years, but that they'd continued to make. And I just took it all for granted that this amazing food ended up on my plate. And sometimes I was like, no, that has too much this and that's too much this. But actually, it was all amazing food. And then going back to it, having sort of missed out on it for a few years, it was all very, like, I looked at it fresh eyes.
Yeah.
And it was very different to look at it with fresh eyes, because I was like, wow, this is such authentic, pure, amazing, home cooked, nutritious, healthy,
Yes.
and good for your gut food. And actually, I've been brought up, again, this is something I realized later, but I've been brought up in this beautifully Ayurvedic way, not calling it Ayurveda, obviously.
Yeah.
And sort of discarded it in a way. So it's my loss of my roots, my health, that brought me back to it in essence. And that's when I wanted to write my cookbook. And then the rest sort of followed.
So I guess it was that's a fascinating story, and it was a different level of appreciation when you came back to it. So it was almost like a good thing to have that break and then come back with fresh eyes, and you're like, actually, this all starts to make sense now.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously takes years to come to that. So my second book was on Ayurveda, but I never knew it was going to be on Ayurveda. I never thought I would do a book on rituals and Ayurveda
Yeah.
and my own journey and spirituality as a second book. It sort of happened. And when it happened, I was like, well, actually, this is how I've been brought up, but I've
Yes.
sort of not realized or called it that. I've not called it Ayurveda. And I have been in my from the age of 18, actually, I'd been going to Ayurvedic resorts because of my dad, because he'd be like, well, if you're going to India, go in to try this out and try this out. And I'd go there thinking of these things as destinations. Let me go detox and get my skin in order, because I had acne at the time, and lose weight. And then I'll come back and I'll be skinnier and better, or whatever. You know, I think of
Yes.
Ayurveda as a destination, not as a way of life. And I never
Yes.
really studied it or spoke to these doctors at these resorts to understand more. I just sort of did that detox stroke massages and everything and came back.
Yeah.
But obviously, somewhere along the line, all of that somewhere got into my head.
Yeah.
And hence I did the second book.
Yeah. And I think it's amazing because your brand is it's rooted in deep tradition, but then you've also got the modern side of it. So it's very, I remember I just finished Prajña and I was reading through it and I was like, it's amazing because you've got all the, traditional stuff, but actually it's relevant to our day-to-day life with the breathing and everything, like the whole ritual of your whole day. When did you decide? So then, obviously, you then did your books, etc. What was the turning point where you're like, okay, now I've seen the benefits. I want to share this with everyone else. Like, was it just that you were so enthusiastic about it that you wanted to do that, or what was the kind of turning point for that?
I really think it all went hand in hand.
Right.
So it was very much like, let me share this thing that's helped me. And then the next thing comes along. And it's almost me building those things and realizing that they've inspired me. So I want to help other people and inspire other people to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Because actually we're all on this journey where life will have so many ups and downs. And how do we go through them with a little more ease or make it easier for ourselves? And it's never going to be easy.
Yeah.
And that's when the second book on rituals came about, which is how do you inspire a lifestyle and a way of life that is sprinkled with all these wonderful grounding rituals that not only help your health, they all help your health as well, but they also enhance your ability to glide through the crests and trails of life.
Yes.
And not be as marred by them.
Yeah.
And you come out, yes, you feel sad and all of that, but you can help your mental health on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Because all these little things that you do every day, because if you've made them a consistent practice,
Yeah.
they'll help you get through those difficult times better.
Yeah.
So sharing really came about hand in hand
Right.
with me doing those things.
Yes.
And yes, there might be some things that I did from day dot, but there were a lot of things that came about as time went along.
Right.
And it wasn't always like, I need to do this and help myself. It was
Okay.
more like when I went through a very difficult phase of life, what I remember doing at that time of life that helped me. And it was
Okay.
those little things, whether it's like, it was almost like your resuscitation
Yes.
kit.
Yes.
And that resuscitation kit could be very different for different
Yeah.
people. But until you hit that point,
Yes.
you're never going to know what is in that kit.
Yeah.
And for me, it could be yoga. For you, it could be, I need to go and see a friend
Yeah.
every day and I
Yeah.
need to speak to her every day. And
Yeah.
for me, it was that as well.
Right.
It was very much like yoga helped me. I love massages, but at
Yeah.
that time I couldn't do any massages because it would just bring about so much emotion.
Yeah.
So I did the things that just I knew helped me at the time,
Yeah.
that made my body and my mind feel better. And then looking back on that, I was like, oh, this is a kit that I created.
Yes.
Looking at the sun, sitting in the sun.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I layered it all. So then I was like, okay, why did these things help me? What's the
Right.
sort of reasoning behind the fact that I sat in the sun and it helped me? It's because the sun helps improve
that's more,
mood? Or why is it that I woke up and I felt like having this? Well, it's because it helped me feel X, Y, and Z.
Yes, makes sense. And obviously, we're both of Gujarati heritage. I guess linking with the Ayurveda as well. Can you share a few things that have, from your heritage, have then influenced your work or your daily practice, or share a few of your rituals as such?
Yeah. I would sort of compartmentalize those rituals from like food and beauty, because there's so much that Ayurveda offers.
Yeah.
Food, I would say, trying to, and I'm a real snacker. As you know, I just came in here and I had a biscuit because I was really tired. But I'm a real snacker. And when it comes to busy days, I end up not having full meals and just having little bits here and there. And one thing that Ayurveda speaks about is having meals and not having too many snacks in between, leaving gaps so that your digestion has time to ignite again. And to be at its full power. And doing too much snacking, having too many snacks, will sort of reduce the power of that Agni, or the digestive fire. So that's one thing, which is trying to go back to meal times and actually being very careful about sitting down and having a whole meal. Not always, it doesn't have to be a full meal, but just being more aware of it. And yes, there'll be weeks that you'll, like this week, Diwali week, it's always a bit harder. But being conscious of these things and having your lunch slightly bigger, slightly smaller dinner, and all of those things, just being a bit more conscious. Like yesterday, I was in the middle of 100 things and I was like, okay, I need to sit down and have something. I'm a bit hungry. And I went into this cafe and I could have chosen, because I have a sweet tooth, I could have chosen just a bar, like a date bar or something, which really I love in that place. But I was like, you know what, I actually need something nourishing. I get a whole, I got a hot soup and a piece of gluten-free bread with it. And it was just delicious. And it just made me, and I didn't need anything else after that for like hours. So it's just about knowing what your body wants rather than listening to your taste buds all the time.
Yes. That's a good point.
So, and I always listen to my taste buds, because my taste buds, if I ask them what they want all the time, it's sweet, sweet, sweet.
And not good for your dental health either. Not grazing also isn't good.
Well, that's what I realized when I got back after years of living abroad, and I used to graze so much, and I went to the dentist and she was like, Mira, we've got a lot of work to do. And then it was like years of like sorting my mouth out.
So that's the kind of food side.
That's the food side, yes. So that's one thing. Obviously, there's loads of other things, spices, etc. The other thing I would say, the beauty side I would say is, for me, it's oils. So I think massaging my face with oil and only using oils on my skin. I actually don't use any moisturizer. And I've spoken about this many times. I'm sure there's a lot of dermatologists who disagree with me, because I'm not saying they're wrong and I'm right. It just works for me right now. I just love using oils on my skin, and it really helps me. I used to have acne. I then had a lot of congestion, and all of that seems to have sort of slowly gone, and I rarely get facials now, and the oils just suit my skin. So at night I'll massage, in the morning, not massage, I won't spend 5 minutes massaging, but I'll just do a small short massage, and when I have more time or want to put more effort in, I'll do a longer massage.
Any particular oils that you'd recommend?
Well, I love kumkumadi, which is a very Ayurvedic oil. Now you get it from different brands. I have mine from Karma Ayurveda, but there's so many different brands that do it. It's called kumkumadi. It has a bit of saffron in it as well. But there's so many oils, and I just think experiment and choose one. And there are plenty of oils out there. I've probably got about 6 in my cupboard that are different, and I do rotate them. Like if I'm going on a trip, I may not take the kumkumadi because it's a bigger bottle. I'll take a smaller one, which is from Hey You or something, which is lovely because they only have 3 or 4 ingredients. And then a lot of, in Ayurveda, they speak about sesame oil. So you can even just get pure sesame oil and massage that on your face. I would just say stay away from hard oils like coconut oil on your skin, because that's more for the body, because it's it will block your pores because it's quite thick. And then I also massage my body. So not every single day, and you should do it every single day, but it's called Abhyanga. So it's self-massage. I try and do it on my joints like every night. It may happen like 4 times a week, but it's really good to massage your knees and your hands, your neck, wherever you sort of have those sort of pains, using either any Ayurvedic oil or coconut oil or sesame oil, and just kind of massage your body with it. Any area, if you might just feel like your calves are hurting, or you don't even know that your calves are hurting, and you start touching them, like, oh my God, they're so sore. And it's just worth doing that, especially in the winters. And especially because we all work out and we move so much, and we don't know the impact that's having. And I think all these things in the modern sense of the word, help us live longer. So longevity is all of this helps up longevity. And lastly, putting castor oil in my belly button, which is another thing I've spoken about on Instagram, which is really, really, it has so many benefits. So that's, again, something I do every day. But there's plenty of things. I could go on and on and on, using like even castor oil at night, drinking half a teaspoon in your warm water, which is very good for digestion and very good for joints.
Right.
But again, it may not suit everyone. So just be careful with knowing what your digestion is telling you and working accordingly. And also just realizing that with Ayurveda, the one thing that Ayurveda goes on and about, and everything that is in Ayurveda centers itself around digestion.
Okay.
And actually, if you look at the today and how many people are suffering from different diseases, a lot of it is linked to digestion.
Yes.
And the root is some issue in digestion.
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed the section of your book with all the details of that and the recipes. And I think, as you said, it's all about trying what works for you. Everyone's different. But if you experiment, you can see what works and what doesn't work. So what about like with your work and kind of your work ethic? How is that distilled through in terms of the way you kind of day-to-day work-wise? In terms of bringing like the Ayurveda or even just the Gujarati heritage behind everything?
So in terms of bringing Ayurveda into what I do and the Gujarati heritage, they're two different things. But I would say Ayurveda, even though it's an Indian text, it's an Indian scripture, even though it's rooted in India, you can live an Ayurvedic lifestyle anywhere in the world. And any heritage of and any cuisine can lend itself to the Ayurvedic lifestyle.
Right.
Essentially, it is living in tune with nature.
Yes.
Essentially, it's living in tune with what your body, what feels right to your body. And so how our ancestors lived is how we should really live. So the things that we do in city life or in the modern context, which is eating out all the time, processed foods, too much, too many stimulants, too much coffee and tea, less hydration, more stress, all these things are sort of anti-Ayurveda, but they're not rooted in like any particular culture.
Yes, true.
So while my upbringing and the way that my grandfather lived and the way I saw him sort of do his daily routines and rituals and practices is very Ayurvedic, I wouldn't say that is the only way of Ayurveda. It's just the way I've seen it.
Yes.
And so the person on the Mediterranean coast having pasta and a glass of wine, but that's what they're accustomed to. And that's actually Ayurvedic in their way.
Yes, very good point.
And actually, I think the biggest thing in all of this is stress.
Yep.
And if we go back to digestion, what impacts digestion? It's stress.
Yes.
So any stresses that we have in life will impact digestion, which will lead to any other issues.
Yep.
And so when we look back at the root cause of any problem that we have, any symptom that we have, it's going to be some form of stress, mental or physical.
Yeah. That's a really good point. I've never thought of it like that. So you've built such an impressive brand over the years. Have you had any challenges along the way? Any kind of key learnings like through building that?
Yeah, lots of challenges. I mean, I think a lot of what I have done has come about organically. Like it wasn't, I didn't set out to write a book on Ayurveda, nor did I set out to write a book on chai. I knew I always wanted to write a book, but that was always going to be a novel. And I've still got that novel somewhere stashed away, and I will be going back to that writing. I do now and again go back to that sort of creative writing. But essentially, no matter what challenges you face, no matter the sort of things the voices that come in your head and the people that come about who are sort of more negative, or any of those things that you face, negativity, even comparison, the sort of competition in the industry and all of that. As long as you stay true to your own cause and roots and your own sort of mission and purpose, and you keep going back to that and stay in your lane rather than thinking, oh, wait, if they're doing that and I'm not, I'm missing out, or I should be doing that because they're doing that. That's the root cause of so many of the, like, oh God, I shouldn't, I'm not good enough for that, or because you look at someone else and you think they're doing better. So I think it's just about staying in your lane and being authentic, and really just doing you. not looking at what other people are doing too much. Of course, that's important.
Yeah.
But, the more you stay you, the more you champion others.
Yes. I think that's so true. And I guess, especially with the wellness industry, can be oversaturated. And I think if you are genuine and as you said, it's authentic and you're doing it because you truly want to do that and you're staying in your lane, then I think that's a, sign of, being successful as well. So I think it makes sense to do that.
Yeah, it's easier said than done.
it is
We
easier said
all
than
have
done.
the
Yeah.
ability to sort of
course.
fall off that wagon and be like, oh, wait, but
Yeah.
I'm not good enough for this.
Yeah.
And they've heard this 100 people have heard this 100 times. Why would I be adding to that
Yeah.
on Instagram? And
Yeah.
but your audience is your audience, and the way you say something is different to the way other people say things, and you don't know who's going to be benefiting from you saying whatever you're saying.
No, completely fair point. So you have, so much going on with your business, books, events. Do you have a typical day in the life, or is every day is very different, or how does your routine work?
I mean, if you'd asked me this last year, I would have said there is a bit more of a typical
Okay.
day. This year, I've been away so much that I can't say there's a typical day.
Okay.
But my life has always been a bit like, what's the word? Peripatetic? Is that the way you say it? Like, I am a bit sort of all over the world a little bit.
Okay.
And more so this year than the last 7-8 years. Last year, I was, I had sort of an office space. I was in a shared office space, and I, had a bit of a routine going on. And this year, I'm not doing so much of that. I'm doing sort of more working from home and cafes and generally just, traveling a bit here and there, either for work or not for work. But wherever I am, I'll be getting my work done.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's a typical day, but in the sense of staying true to your rituals, there is a typical day. And I think waking up and making sure that I do the things that I do when I'm at home, then you can make your home anywhere. And, making sure I check in with my work every day. There are things that I want to work on that, I need to work on, like waking up and not looking at my phone instantly. I do want to change that. Waking up and maybe doing 2 minutes, 3 minutes of journaling, which is something I've done before and I've spoken about. I want to go back to that. And I think traveling makes all of that a little bit more, you put it off till the next time. And you shouldn't. So I shouldn't. So there are things that I'm still working on in that sense. But, rituals are wonderful things that you can bring into your life consistently, and then you can replace them with something else. So like last year I was working on headstands every single day.
Wow.
Sorry, headstands. And I still do them, but I've fallen off the wagon with doing them every single day now.
Okay.
And there was a time I was doing it every day in the morning when I woke up, and it's amazing. It's just, there's so many benefits to it.
Yeah.
And this year I'm trying to work a bit more on handstands, but I haven't quite got there. I can do a bit, but not quite there yet.
I won't
but
make you do one now.
it's so amazing. It's like, there's so many benefits, just all these things. And you can just be like, okay, I'm going to do a bit more of this now, or this year I'll do a bit more journaling. And I do, like when I come back from a trip, I open the journal. This 1 line a day journal, which is literally very short, and it's just a nice recap. And I open it up and I'm like, oh, let me just recap the last 10 days that I was away. And it's just nice to go back to that. I don't even know why. It's just become a ritual now that I do when I get back from my trips. So it's nice to just have these things that you come back to.
So you're almost like creating your own rituals as well. It's not just, as you said, you're reading back. It's kind of like a gratitude side of things. But I guess people can create their own little rituals that they do.
Yeah, but there are things that before I was working on that have now become consistent.
Right.
So they've become a part of my daily life. Like
Yeah.
carrying my castor oil and carrying my other oils and my face oil is such a normal part of life. I even forget to tell you that those.
Wow.
But before, those are the things I was working on. Do you see what I mean?
Yes,
They're just part of my life now.
Yes.
I do them every single day, no matter where I am. If I'm on holiday, I'll carry everything with me. I'll massage my my joints, my face, everything, my hair. But they've become such a consistent part of life now that it's sort of the next thing that I'm working on now.
Nice. What keeps you kind of energized in terms of during the day? What keeps you motivated in the respect that, like, is there, do you have a mentor? Is there something you like to read, which, like, if you're having a low point, you're like, okay, if I read that, I'll it picks you up a little bit. Is anything, I guess, a ritual that kind of, you use during times of like stress or burnout or anything like that?
Yeah, number one, sleep. I love my sleep, and I need to sleep. I need to make sure I.
But you're a night owl, I hear.
Sorry?
You're a night owl a little bit.
I am. I can be.
You can be, okay.
But I can also sleep on time and like
Yeah,
get good night's
nice.
sleep. So I think I'm more of a night owl when I'm doing creative work. So if
Right.
I'm working on a book,
Yeah.
that generally happens at night, but I'm not
Okay.
working on a book. It's probably every 3 years that I do
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
So, but night owl, I can be a night owl. So sometimes I do end up just sitting on my phone until
Yeah.
late or doing some work till late. But no, generally I will sleep on time.
Yeah.
I could make that earlier, probably better to do it earlier because there's a lot that happens in your body before 12 that,
Yep.
that means that you should sleep a little bit earlier. But
Okay.
I do sleep on time and I get a good 8 hours. I do love
Nice.
my sleep. And if I'm really tired in the day and if I'm near home or if I am at home, I'll try and do like the odd, half an hour nap. And I think I
Amazing.
don't do it
Power
again,
nap.
not very often, but
Yeah.
it does recuperate me.
Yep.
And when I do it, which is once every 2 weeks, if that, I feel amazing. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my God, I need to do this more. And then lo and behold, it doesn't happen for another 2 weeks. And the third thing I would say is listening to Alan Watts. If I'm feeling down,
Okay.
I'll just put Alan Watts on YouTube,
Yep.
or I'll listen to something else, and it'll uplift me.
Yeah. Any favorite quotes or things that you like to think about during those times?
Favorite quotes. There are so many. I
Yeah.
do quote a lot on my
Yeah.
Instagram as well. And there's a lot that I go back to. At the moment, if you told me to pick one, gosh, I can't think of anything
You have
right
a mixture
now.
of things that you
Yeah, I
yeah.
keep them on my phone actually.
So do I. I've got a note section, and
Yeah.
I love, like, on the train or whatever, you've got them up, and you're like, okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
And they relate to different things in life or work or whatever. So we always ask our guests, like, 3 things you can't live without. I'm guessing maybe the oil in the bag, but any other, if you had to say, like, if you're going away, what would you definitely find in your handbag?
Obviously my chai.
Your chai, of course, your chai, yeah.
No, I mean, that's not something I necessarily, I do actually, because I need to do the odd video and just bring it out or gift it to somebody. So the chai spice would be a good one. Probably a snack. I usually carry something, like a snack with me. Like if it's morning, I'll carry like my chia pudding.
Yep.
What else? Oils. Yeah, it depends.
Yeah.
Generally, I would carry an oil because if I'm just might go to the gym and sauna, I want an oil with me.
Yeah.
What else? I'm trying to think. Consistently in my bag. I mean, makeup's a good one.
Yeah.
But there are some days I put zero makeup on. So, I think oil, chai, and
a snack.
Snack,
yes. Snack is always a good idea.
And a spoon.
And a spoon, yeah. Yeah. I won't talk about the times where I've packed my daughter's snack and forgot a spoon, which has not been fun.
Oh,
In terms of, like, off duty, what would you do to relax, like, when you're not doing work? I mean, I guess yours is kind of just your lifestyle. The whole thing is linked to your work, home life, everything is one thing. But if you were kind of off duty, where would you like to go, or where would you be in London? What are your favorite spots or anything?
Oh, I love sitting in cafes and working and reading. I also do travel to listen to my spiritual leader, and that's happens around the world.
Yeah.
That happens a good few times a year.
Yeah.
So I'm not, even though I'm working, I'm not really working, and in a sense it is switching on, but in a sense it's switching in.
Yes.
And sauna, spa.
Yeah.
I mean, not spa, sauna
Yeah.
after a gym workout. That makes me feel a whole lot better.
Yeah.
And I do love having a longer, more chilled out workout this year, because I just used to be a little bit more like, let's be in and out of the gym. Now I'm like, you know what, I'll do a longer workout. I'll be a bit more chilled out about it, and I'll do some listening or not reading, but listening to something while I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Take my time over it.
Yeah.
So and then just sitting in my sauna blanket at home. I love that.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That's, I've not tried one of those. Would you recommend that?
It's brilliant. Yeah, I love it. I mean, it just firstly, it warms you up.
Yeah.
They say it's an infrared blanket. I don't know how infrared it is, but it does make me feel good.
Nice. Well, you've already done so much in terms of books, events, etc. What's next? What can we see from Mira Manek next?
What is next? I potentially could be working on a book, but I haven't yet decided whether to do it or not.
Do it.
The idea is there, and I've put together a proposal. I haven't yet figured out whether I'm doing that. But I'm more or less just working on my brand and growing it. We're in about 250 cafes now.
Amazing.
In the US, we've launched in a couple of chains, and then hopefully growing
Wow.
more.
That's so exciting.
I was just in New York just now, and that wasn't a work trip because I was meeting cafes and restaurants.
Yeah. How fun. That sounds super exciting.
Yeah.
So we will be following your journey. Where can our listeners, viewers find you? What's your Instagram handle for anyone who doesn't know?
At Mira Manek, Miramek. And then for the chai instead, it's Chai By Mira at Chai By Mira. And the website is miramanek.com. And the chai
Amazing.
you can buy online on Delhi, Delli, or Amazon. We're on Amazon as well. Or lots of cafes that we work with retail the chai as well. So that's on our website.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. I know how busy you are, so thanks for taking the time, and I'm sure we'll catch up again soon.
Thank you for having me, Reena. So lovely.
Thank you. Check out our latest By Dr. Reena edit on www.bydrreena.com.